Hello and welcome back to another episode of this week's watches, and this episode is one I've been excited to get to because the range on the table today is incredible. From Rolex to Omega with a vintage Ed White to a vintage Gold Zenith to some micro brands and brands you've probably never heard of or even seen the watches before, to some old classics as well. And there's really something for everyone in this drop, and as always that's what I try and achieve here at Kibble Watches, and that's thanks to you guys and girls selling or consigning these watches with us, so I really do appreciate it. Now, as always, if you want to skip to a specific watch here on the table today, you can do so via the description. You will see each watch listed, as well as timestamps that will take you straight to me talking about that watch. You'll also see a link to the website where you can see all the details, photos, the price if it's still available, and obviously if it's sold, it will say sold. So before we dive onto the watches that are on the table and what's on wrist, I just want to quickly say, if you're watching this as on the weekend it is going live, that coming week I will be away for a short while. So this video goes live and the drop goes live on Saturday the 14th of October. I will be heading out on Thursday the 19th of October and back Tuesday the 24th of October. So just an extended weekend, just away for a little bit in Wales with my family, having a little bit of getaway time. So any orders, please make sure they're in by 2 p.m. or 1 p.m. at the latest on Thursday the 19th to ensure delivery that week. Otherwise, it won't be shipped until I'm back the following week. So if you're watching this at the weekend, just continue as normal. Purchase as you usually would over the weekend. It will be shipped early that week. But yeah, just wanted to get that out there. So what's on wrist? I am wearing my personal Rolex Oyster Date Precision. This is a reference 6694. Comes with its box and paperwork from 1969 on its original rivet bracelet. As I say, a personal watch, so not for sale. However, I do have two 6694s currently available, one on the website and one actually in next week's drop. So if you want to get ahead of that, make sure you follow on Instagram at Kibble Watches. You can see all the watches that are coming soon and you can beat the website. Now let's crack on with what you're here to see, and that is the watches on the table. We're going to start with arguably the best watch on the table, at least in my opinion. That is this absolutely gorgeous vintage 1964 Omega Speedmaster Ed White with a faded original dot over 90 bezel. This is absolutely incredible, and I think if you've been after one of these, they don't come up often, and to have one like this is incredibly special. So let's take a closer look at this one. So what a watch to begin this week's episode with. We have this gorgeous Omega Speedmaster, but this isn't just any old Omega Speedmaster. This is a pre-moon Ed White with straight lugs and a beautiful simple dial with tritium right there, and this ghost faded dot over 90, or Don as it's referred to, bezel, which you can see has just aged to this crazy fade, where you can make out some numbers and not others, and in certain lights it goes this ghostly white, and in other lights it almost goes like a blue. It's really incredible and all matches beautifully with the age on the dial as well. The case is nice and strong. It has been polished over its life, but nothing too crazy. And as we flip it over, the case back is still nice and present as well, which is what we always like to see. So this is the reference 105.003-64, and inside this beautiful watch is a manually wound Omega caliber 321, a famous movement used by Omega and brought back recently by them after 3D scanning an original 321 and making it pretty much the same. So as I say, this is circa 1964. It unfortunately doesn't come with any box or paperwork, which isn't uncommon for a watch this age. I'm sure most of you will not be surprised to hear that. But there you go, really lovely example, and something definitely worth checking out. See the photos on the website and the full description for all the extra details, but let's show this beauty on wrists and tall dimensions. And here we go, paired on my 7-inch wrist and on a very nice aged watch gecko strap, which I think suits the watch perfectly. But obviously straps are the last thing to worry about. You can switch and swap as you desire, and there's even aftermarket bracelet options and even original bracelets if you can find them. But this is 39mm by 47.5mm lug to lug, 12.5mm thick and 19mm on the lug, so there are endless options. Watch gecko and strap tailor is where I'd recommend for a watch like this, but go check it out on the website today. From there, let's go over to a classic with the new 41mm Rolex Submariner No Date. This is just a quintessential Rolex Submariner you cannot go wrong with. It was interesting, the last episode we had a date and no date pre-ceramic, and everyone seemed to prefer the no date over the date model, in the comments at least, but in actual reality of sales and sales performance, the date typically does better, which I find quite interesting. But anyway, we've got the no date 41mm ceramics. Let's take a closer look. From one classic to another, this time a modern classic. This is the Rolex Submariner no date, and this is the latest model in 41mm with the ceramic bezel and black ceramic dial, as you can see. Very clean aesthetic, and it's nice having the pre-ceramic, as of the time we're recording this video, having the pre-ceramic on the website with aluminium bezel, and obviously this one at the same time. Now, when this watch was released, a lot of people were confused why they've made the case bigger. I have to be honest with you, this actually wears slightly better than the 40mm that they discontinued. The lugs are thinner, and also the proportions on wrist are actually that little bit better. And if you actually measure the case, I don't know why Rolex do this, but it's not 41, it's actually closer to 40 anyway. So there you have it, Rolex sizing as it typically goes. So this is the reference 124060, and this one's from September 2021 with its box and paperwork, and it's in very good condition. It has been worn. There are a couple of hairline scratches here and there. It's not been polished, and we can have it polished if you wish, but I have to be honest, you'll be hard pressed to find better without buying brand new, to be honest, or unworn as they call it. As we flip it over, plain case back as you can see, and as you'd expect, and inside is the automatic Rolex caliber 3230. This watch does feature the very, very good and comfortable Rolex class where you have the glide lock, which allows you to open and adjust on the fly wherever you are, which is a great feature to have, and something I wish every watch had, especially modern watches, of course. But let's show this one on wrist and talk dimensions. And here we go, paired on my 7-inch wrist. And from afar, you'd be mistaken for not being able to, you'd be forgiven, sorry, for not being able to tell the difference between the 40 and the 41. Whereas when you look close, you've got the coronet in between Swiss made and obviously the smaller lugs and bigger bracelet. But this is 41mm by 48mm lug to lug, only 12mm thick and 21mm on the lugs. So a little bit odd on the lug length, but to be honest, you're going to be probably wearing it on the bracelet anyway. But go check it out on the website today. From there to the now discontinued 39mm Rolex Explorer 1. This is the Mark II dial, which has the lume in the 3, 6 and 9 and longer handset. It's the one most people want. They don't really want the Mark I for the most part. This is the Mark II, so let's take a closer look at this. Now on to the discontinued Rolex Explorer 1 in 39mm. This reference, we just got back from a very light polish and it looks fantastic. Really, really good. Our polishers do a great job of how they do it, like factory finish. Very, very nice. So this is the reference 214270, which has been discontinued and replaced with a 36mm and a 40mm option. Very similar with the Submariner as we were just discussing between the 40 and the 41. The differences are minimal, and to be honest, they are pretty much the same watch. Now, again, up close, both in hand, you can notice the difference, but from afar or on wrist, to be honest, it's very hard to actually tell the difference between the two. So choose whichever one you prefer or whichever one you can actually get, because the 40mm is still very difficult to get. But this is the 214270, and this one's from July 2020. It does come with its box and paperwork, and inside behind that closed case back is an automatic Rolex caliber 3132. This watch does have its very nice Rolex folding clasp with a 5mm adjust that you can tuck away right there, and there are 3 grooves on the inside to move that up as well, so you can have the perfect fit on your wrist. A very great watch. So let's show it on wrist and talk dimensions. And here we go, paired on my 7-inch wrist. I'm always torn because I prefer how the older 36mm wear on my wrist, but I'm not as much of a fan as the new 36mm. I actually prefer this 39 or the 40mm over the modern 36, but a vintage or older 36 all day long personally, but either way you can't go wrong. So this is 39mm by 47mm lug to lug, only 11mm thick and 20mm on the lugs, so endless options. But go check this one out on the website today. From there, let's head over to a unworn Breitling. This is the one part of the new Navitimer range, which isn't a chronograph, which some people are definitely confused by, but I think they've done a really good job of bringing that Navitimer design aesthetic over to a non-chronograph model. This is the 41mm, a discontinued model as well. So let's take a closer look at this. Next up, we have this unworn and fully stickered Breitling Navitimer automatic in 41mm and a blue dial with the white ring. This is actually now a discontinued model. I won't bore you with the reference, you can go see that on the website, but a really gorgeous design, really great look, and you have this almost beaded bezel, which is a rotating friction fit bezel, so you can use it as a true glide rule just like you could with, or can with, a Navitimer, which I think is a nice touch. As I said, this is fully stickered and unworn and has been kept pretty much in a safe since it was purchased back in February 2020, so you're getting yourself pretty much a new watch. Just compared on its original strap, as you can see, and even its buckle is still fully stickered. Nice closed case back, beautifully decorated and simply decorated, again as you'd expect from this model. And inside is the automatic Breitling caliber 17, a very reliable workhorse with a date down there at 6 o'clock. I don't think you can go wrong with this design if you're looking for something a bit more affordable than a Navitimer, but also something maybe a bit more wearable, a bit less complicated, but still with some of that complication you get with the Navitimer. This is probably your best option, and they do make it in different sizes. As mentioned, this is the 41mm. So let's show it rested on my 7-inch wrist and talk dimensions. And here we go on my 7-inch wrist. So it's not a small watch, but it does wear very nicely, and there's a lot of dial on this watch. So again, it almost gives the illusion of being bigger than it actually is. So this is 41mm by 48mm lug to lug, 9.5mm thick, and 22mm on the lug. So endless options, but to be honest, this pairing works very well. And as always with Breitling straps, once you wear them in, they're incredibly comfortable. So go check out this one on the website today. From a Navitimer non-chrono to a Bremont chronograph. This is a very, very cool all black and a huge discount on retail. So if you're after one of these, there's not a better time to pick this up. So this is a Bremont Pilot chronograph, Alt1 P2 Jet as it's known, with beautiful faux patina and paired on a really nice Bremont strap as well. Let's take a closer look at this one. Now onto a Bremont, and this is a gorgeous Bremont Pilot in black with faux patina. Now I have been very critical of Bremont, always will be, because I think their retail prices are definitely up there. But once they become pre-owned like this one, the price is definitely justified, and I think you get a lot for your money, to be honest, in the pre-owned market, especially when you look at the price of what this is retail and what we're asking over on the website. You will see the value. So this is the Alt1 P2 Jet, as it's called, for the jet black. As I said, it has that faux patina, the pops of red, which really work, and a date over at 4:30. It isn't a quick set date, so you do have a pusher on the side of the case there to change the date. You have a nice signed crown, nice black pushers, and as we flip it over, a smoked glass exhibition case back, revealing that movement. Now Bremont's call it the caliber 13.25 BE53 AE. Is a modified caliber, and you can go read about that on our website. This one's from September 2021 with its box and paperwork. It also comes with an original Bremont black strap and buckle, but to be honest, this Bremont strap and buckle I think suits the watch far better and contrasts nicely with the faux patina. Let me know down in the comments what you think of this pairing. I think it's what it should have always come on personally anyway. But let's show this one on wrist and talk dimensions. Okay, and here we go, paired on my 7-inch wrist. Now, Bremonts do wear big, but they are incredibly comfortable. They get their wrist ergonomics done very, very well. So what you're looking right here is 43mm by 49.5mm lug to lug, 16mm thick, which is quite thick, but again, it does wear that thickness quite well with the sloped lugs. And 22mm on the lugs, so endless options, but as I say, I think this pairing works perfectly. So go check out this one on the website today. Now where to go? Let's go on something completely out of the blue and left field, and something that you're either going to love or you're not going to love, and that is a Hublot. Yes, I have a Hublot in stock, and I'm actually really excited about this one. This is the Elegant MDM Automatic. So this is part of the earlier series back in the early 2000s when they were sort of first coming out with this kind of design. To some degree anyway, and this is a really cool, almost bubble crystal, kind of like a Corum, but a mix between everything. I'm actually a big fan of this watch, and I think it's really, really cool and very different to what we expect from Hublot today. So let's take a closer look at this one. Now on to a Hublot. Yes, you heard that right, a Hublot at Kibble watches. I've actually sold a couple over my time, and this is a really, really cool one I'm actually a fan of. This is the MDM part of the Elegant series, Geneve, with a ghost, like a ghostly smoky grey dial, and those leaf style hands and the big H at the top. I think it's a very nice design, softer edges and softer overall design, because this is back in the circa 2000s rather than the modern day Hublot we sort of see today, almost like a cross between a Hublot and a Corum bubble, and I mean that in a positive way, not a negative way. Date over there at 3 o'clock. nice signed Hublot crown, and the typical fixtures we expect with these Hublot watches now. As we flip it over, a nice signed case back, and inside is actually an automatic ETA 2892-A2, and this is the reference 1910.1. It comes paired on its original black rubber strap with a Hublot Genève signed deployant clasp with the hidden H inside, which is a nice touch as well. So as I say, definitely underrated among the Hublot lineup. Something to mention on this model, I'm going to try and capture it. You can see there's like marks on the underside of the crystal. Unfortunately, we're unable to get those off, but they are there. They're visible in certain lights and not others, but obviously in the name of transparency, there you go. And you'll see in the photos, to be honest, you can barely see it. Right there, you can see just a bit of it there. But again, it's one of those minor things, and maybe we can get a crystal from Hublot, but it's not an off-the-shelf crystal because of the sort of profile and dome of it. So it's not something we could do sort of more cheaply, if you will. It would have to be a proper Hublot job, but we can assist you in that if you so wish. This one's from circa 2000s, and it comes with a box and no paperwork, unfortunately. But let's show this one on wrist and talk dimensions. And here we go, comfortably paired on my 7-inch wrist. It's one of those watches that definitely merges sort of, I would say dress watch with sports watch. And I know I might seem mad calling a Hublot a dress watch, but it definitely has a bit of that vibe with that dial and the sort of handset and everything. I think it's a really nice design. So this is 41mm by 50mm lug to lug, 11mm thick and 20mm at the lug. So really gorgeous watch. So go check it out on the website today. From there, we're really bouncing around with this drop, so I hope you don't mind, but we're going to go over to this watch. This is a Torby Lawless Diver in blue. A very interesting watch, very interesting design, built like a tank, that's for sure, at 40mm, and a really, really cool watch from 2023. Again, a brand you either really know or you don't, so one I'm excited for. But let's take a closer look at this one. Now over to Germany with this Torby Lawless Diver in this metallic blue, a really gorgeous watch, and the bezel definitely shines multiple different colors with this glossy finish. In certain lights it's black, in certain lights it's a really deep blue, and other lights it almost gives a purple tone. Really, really interesting, and something you don't see often. You have those sword style hands with a huge amount of lume in there, and made in Germany, proudly stated at 6 o'clock with a colour match date wheel. Thank you, Torby, that's always a nice touch. So the reference to this one is 6220.2, and inside is an automatic ETA 2824-2, which is chronometer certified. As we flip it over, you can actually see a really beautifully designed case back. You can see a better photo of that on our website. It comes paired on its original bracelet, which is incredibly comfortable, all links included, and it also has this nifty dive extension release. As you pull it like so, you can adjust it as such. Apologies for the noise. And this watch is from August 2023. It does come with its box and paperwork, and it is in very good condition, very lightly worn. It was worn on a leather strap actually, or rubber strap instead of the bracelet, so the bracelet is virtually new with the sticker still on the clasp. And again, Torby, a brand you do not see often, that are doing really great things over in Germany, and this is a great example really of what they are achieving. I think it's a really nice design. So let's show it on wrist and talk dimensions. And here we go, comfortably paired on my 7-inch wrist. It's a really cool design and really cool look. This is 39.5mm by 47.5mm lug to lug, so under that 40mm, and it definitely wears as such. 11.5mm thick and 20mm on the lugs with drilled lug holes, so endless options. But I think this bracelet definitely suits the design, and again, it's quite a striking design, so go check it out on the website today. Now on something I think you'll all be very familiar with, and that's this classic Longines Master Collection 39mm with black. It's got a really nice texture to the dial, which is impossible to capture, so I do apologize if it doesn't come up in the photos. Hopefully you'll see it here in the video, but this is brand new, unworn. Obviously I'll take this wrapping off to show you, and I took the wrapping off to show in the photos, but it's brand new, unworn from 2023, so let's take a closer look. Now for a really gorgeous offering from Longines. This is part of their Master Collection in 39mm. This is a classic black dial automatic with white printed numerals. You can see that texture on the dial, almost like a waffle pattern. Very nicely done with the date over at 6 o'clock. Now this specific one is brand new, unworn, fully stickered with its box and paperwork, and you have everything with it. It's from July 2023. And it's the reference L26284517. That's a mouthful. Now as we flip it over, you have an exhibition case back showing that very nice, thin and beautifully decorated Longines caliber L888.3, and it comes paired on its original Longines leather strap with its fully stickered deployment as well. So you can size that up and take off all the stickers when you get the watch. Nice nice sign crown, sorry, not screw down crown. And just a very simple, beautifully curved, polished case. Very reminiscent, I would say, of sort of 50s Longines, and I think that's what they're aiming with this Master Collection range of this model specifically. But let's show this one rested on my wrist and taught dimensions. And here we go, rested on my 7-inch wrist. You can see the proportions of this one are fantastic at 39mm by 44.5mm lug to lug, only 9mm thick and 20mm on the lug, so endless options. To be honest, with the black, I think this black and white stitching really contrasts nicely against the black dial and white numerals and hands. So go check this one out on the website today. From there to a watch, I've been excited to finally get one in, and I am not disappointed. I think it's a really cool watch. This is an unworn 2023 Tissot Sidereal S blue carbon with the Powermatic 80, part of their new range, sort of inspired or not inspired, but you know, it is a Sidereal, which is really, really cool. For those of you who don't know, they were carbon fiber cases or like plastic composite, very, very interesting things. And let's take a closer look at this. Next up is, as I said in the intro, one I've been excited to get in stock. That is the new Tissot Sidereal, and this is the Powermatic 80 in blue. And the blue has this gorgeous carbon fiber case with hints of blue all throughout, which I think is really nicely done. And again, at the price point, I really don't think you can go wrong with these. I would say these are like a step up to your fun Moonswatch or a Casio or something like that. This is the watch you'd get instead of something like that, because it's not really your everyday watch you're going to wear with a suit, but it's definitely something that's going to stand out and be a lot of fun, especially at the weekends. You have the original style dial, nice rotating bezel, as you can see, which is actually clicks, whereas the original was friction fit, so this is definitely a lot better. And as I mentioned, the case is carbon, whereas the originals were fiberglass, and fiberglass is prone to breaking and cracking, so thank God they didn't make it out of fiberglass again. I think that's probably why they resorted to this. I won't bore you with the reference to this one. It's a long reference. You can see it on the website, but this is the blue model. As I said, they've done yellow and red, I believe, are the two other colours. As we flip it over, you can see an exhibition case back with the automatic Powermatic 80, and this one is Tissot signed. So the Powermatic 80 they use across the board with many different brands as well. It comes paired on its original strap, which is very close to the original that was on the Sidereal, with this fitted push style where it sort of pops into the strap itself. Nicely done. And this one is quick release. And I think, again, just the overall design and finishing, they've done a really good job of this, and I think it goes to show Tissot are knocking their releases out of the park, the PRX being the last one, which I think was just so well taken, and a couple of chronos as well. This one, it gets a big tick from me. So let's show it on wrist and talk dimensions. And here we go on my wrist. Now this is unworn. I know for those of weirdos out there who go, but you've got it on your wrist right now. It's still unworn, okay? I'm just showing it for the video. So here we go. So this is from 2023. It does come with its box and booklet, and it's an online warranty now where you put in the serial and you can get all the details. They've switched over, which a lot of brands are starting to do, and I'm all for it. The less paperwork and boxes and things like that, the better, in my opinion, especially as a pre-owned seller, because we have to ship those things and store them when we have the watches. So less is more, thank you. 41mm by 46mm lug to lug, 14mm thick and 20mm on the lugs that you can swap out with the quick release. So a really cool watch, and go check it out on the website today. From there to what is going to come as no surprise, my second favorite on the table other than the Speedmaster. That's this gorgeous, absolutely lovely, clean Zenith automatic dress watch in 9-karat gold with its box and booklets as well, which is really nice. Don't think you can go wrong with this, especially quite a chunk under £1,000. So let's take a closer look. If you are after a vintage solid gold automatic watch under £1,000, your options are limited. But right here we have a gorgeous Zenith automatic with a date, as you can see, really nice clean white dial, and this is 9-karat yellow gold, as you can see. Really beautiful condition overall. Nice clean case back as well, as you'd expect. Just a really great example, and as I say, under £1,000, so you cannot go wrong. This is the reference S2078, and inside is the automatic Zenith caliber 2562PC, which is an automatic caliber with hand winding. Unfortunately, it predates the quick set date, so you do have to go round to set the dates, but again, not a huge deal breaker if you're familiar with vintage watches anyway, like my 6694. I have to go round and round and round with that one as well. This one's from circa 1973, dated on the hallmarks, and it comes with its original box and booklets, or 8 original Zenith box and booklets. As I always have to say, it's impossible to ever say for certain unless it has serials on the box, but whether a box is original to the watch or not, all we can say is it's period correct, and this is a period correct box with booklets, which is a nice add-on as well, and again doesn't add anything to the price. Comes paired on a nice black leather strap, as you can see, a really nice gecko to watch gecko handmade leather strap with a Hirsch gold plated buckle to match. But let's show this one on wrist and taut dimensions. And here we go on my 7-inch wrist. Now with its tonneau case, it does wear larger than the dimensions would lead you to believe, at 33mm by 39.5mm lug to lug, 11mm on the thickness and 18mm on the lugs. Now it is 18.5mm, so you can either squeeze on a 19mm or put on a 18 if it's got thicker sides like this one, where you won't notice the difference, but 18.5, some vintage watches were like that for some reason in between. But go check this one out on the website today. Now on to an Aquastar Model 30 re-edition in 37mm, a very nice skin diver basically. And for those of you that know me, you know I have had a lot of vintage skin divers, and I think these re-editions are fantastic. Squale make a really nice one as well, and this is amazing for the money. I think it's really great and it looks fantastic. So let's take a closer look at this one. Now onto this gorgeous Aquastar re-edition 37mm Model 60 as it's called, and this is inspired by a vintage skin diver with that gorgeous skin diver dial and steel bezel. Now a lot of brands did this kind of design, Wittnauer being one of them, and as I mentioned in the intro, those are watches I adore and I've owned many of them over the years as well, and this is a really nicely done re-edition. Dare I say one of the best actually I've seen of this kind of design. So this is the reference M60, and inside behind all of this you'll see a stickered case back, which is nicely decorated, I will add. So let's take this NATO off so you can actually see. And there we go, really nicely decorated with the same style that we expect from Aquastar, with that solid screw case back, really nicely done. Inside is an automatic Le Jeu Perret G100, and we're seeing a lot more from Le Jeu Perret. I think a lot of brands are starting to use them instead of ETA or Solita, and it's great to see more options becoming available to watch brands to use to get sort of different price points. Still great quality as well as you'd expect. This one's from June 2023. It does come with its box and original card, and it comes paired on its original NATO strap as well. However, I will say this on a nice brown strap would look incredible. So let's show this one on wrist and taut dimensions. And here we go, comfortably on my 7-inch wrist. I think they've nailed the proportions of this one and it looks fantastic. So this is 37mm by 47mm lug to lug, only 12mm on the thickness. That's not including the NATO, so do obviously keep in mind that will add some thickness, and 19mm on the lug. So a little awkward, but there are options out there, especially from WatchGecko. So go check it out on the website today. And last but by no means least, another Dorenzo. This is the DRZ04 Mondar White in automatic, a very nice and good looking piece. And again, it's just a great price point. I think what Dorenzo do are brilliant, and they have their own unique design for dials especially, and hands, and this has all that design language in there, again with a nice integrated bracelet as well. Can't go wrong with this. Let's take a closer look. Now onto this gorgeous Dorenzo. This is the DRZ04 in white with the integrated bracelet with the polished and brushed H-Link style, which I think suits the watch really nicely. And as I was saying in the intro, Dorenzo have their own design language, and I think it's nice that they stick true to it. And the dial on this one is fantastic, as are the handset. I think very, very nicely done and very legible as well, which for white dials with white hands like this, or black contrasting, whatever you want to call it, sometimes it can be a bit tricky, but they've definitely nailed this one. So as I said, the reference is DRZ04, and this one's from June 2021 with its box and paperwork. Just compared on its original bracelet with all of its links included, and as we open it up, you can see there's a couple of stickers still present, and a nice exhibition caseback showcasing the automatic Solita SW200-1, a movement used by many brands along with ETA, and as I mentioned in the last watch, Le Jeu Perret is starting to definitely take the fold as well. Nice screw down sign crown and really nice finishing throughout with really beautiful polished chamfers against the brushed, which just add for a very nice wearing experience, especially with that bezel. You have a flat brushed top and then a polished chamfer, again, just adds to the wearability in my opinion. But let's show this one on wrist and talk dimensions. And here we go, comfortably paired on my 7-inch wrist. It's a great design and great size at 40mm by 48mm lug to lug, 11mm thick, and 23.5mm with the lugs tapering down to the clasp around 19mm, so a nice strong taper on that one. But go check out this watch on the website today. So there you have it, guys and girls, a very varied drop for you all. I hope you've all enjoyed it, and as I say, there'll probably be something for everyone here. If you're into your micros, there's something interesting there, from like Dorenzo, Torby and Aquistar, all the way to, you know, Bremont and so on and so on. And for those of you that like your classics, there is a Speedmaster, albeit a very special vintage one, but you have your classics with the Submariner and the Explorer, and obviously everything in between. So thank you all very much for watching. Let me know down in the comments, what was your favorite from this drop? With how varied it was, I'm interested to hear what was your favorite. I've got a feeling for a lot of people it's going to be the Speedmaster, but I might be surprised. You might all choose the Hublot. So let me know down in the comment section. We'll see you all again next week. Take care.